We're talking in the studio at the moment to James Crane from the Kent County Council Community Wardens, our regular visitor. James coming in once every 2 months just to keep us up to date with what the community wardens are doing, and lots of useful advice, contact details as well. James, I know you wanted to cover cycle safety. What advice do you have for our listeners cycling out there in Swale?
Right, yeah, I mean, the advice for them, again, following on safety advice, which is one of the mainstays that I do, is if you're on a cycle and you're going out at night, obviously you're going to want to be able to be seen, and obviously your lights are your best bet for this. So make sure your batteries are fully charged and that the bulbs or the LEDs work. And you need a white static for a front light and a red for a back. LEDs are far more reliable than bulbs, and they can give out a much brighter and clearer light, as well as they'll actually last for a lot longer. Bulbs, you've all had it at home. You flick the light switch, the bulb goes on, flashes, filament breaks, you need to find yourself a new bulb. LEDs don't suffer from that, so they're much more reliable, and they also use a lot less of your batteries. And helmets. Wearing a helmet might not be cool for kids, but the helmet will actually save your life if you have an accident. It's designed to take the impact away from the skull and preventing a serious injury. Normally, if you ever have a blow on it, it will transfer it round to right round the helmet and out on the other side. And when you get a helmet, check to see if it's got any cracks or other visible defects. If it has, consider replacing it, as it would have taken the blow somewhere to weaken it. And this may cause an injury to you if you were to come off your bike. If you've got other safety clothing, whether this be a high-vis jacket or a sash, they are much more visible at night because of the reflective strips on them. These can be picked up relatively inexpensively from a cycle shop or any motoring retailer who sells breakdown kits for cars. I mean, it doesn't have to be the latest designer Gucci bit of kit for you. Just something simple to slip over your outer jacket. I mean, quite a few motorcyclists do this. They'll have a high-vis tabard which they'll put on. It isn't waterproof, but it goes over their leathers, so even if it does rain, the tabard gets soaked, but you stay dry underneath. Maintenance. Yeah, I mean, you're going to want to look after your brakes and your tyres and your gears, so they all need checking so they don't let you down. If your bike tyre is looking a bit bald and the tread's barely visible, this will have the same effect as a car tyre which is in the same state, and your slowing distance may be affected. Again, consider getting it replaced.
James, I know you wanted to talk about antisocial behaviour.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, in order to answer this, it's actually necessary to ask, what is antisocial behaviour? Antisocial behaviour can be regarded as any behaviour by one person or a group of people that another person or group of people regards as being unreasonable behaviour. So it can be seen that almost anything that anyone does could be regarded by another person or a group of people to be unreasonable. This is obviously a very sweeping statement. I mean, after all, any behaviour might thus be claimed to be unreasonable by anyone else. So a large portion of common sense needs to be added into the argument. So in deciding whether behaviour is antisocial or not, all the facts of the situation need to be considered. For instance, a large group of people noisily playing football on a playing field at 3 o'clock in the afternoon would be a different prospect from even 2 or 3 people kicking a ball around in the street about 10, 11 o'clock at night. And the acid test is what a reasonable person would deem to be appropriate behaviour. Lots of tests in British law look at things from the viewpoint of a reasonable person. And in this regard, the test of what antisocial behaviour is no different. By getting all the facts of any situation together and then deciding what a reasonable person would think was appropriate behaviour, you can also work out what that same person would regard as inappropriate, or, to use another word, antisocial behaviour. And a large part of community wardens' work is judging and advising on acts of antisocial behaviour.
James, I know you wanted to talk about snow and ice damage to the roads.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hot topic at the moment, what with the current spell of cold weather we've had over the past month or so. And Kent County Council actually has a duty of care towards its visitors and residents, and this is particularly relevant at during the last month, when it's been especially cold. The recent spell of very cold weather has left a number of potholes and broken surfaces, which Kent County Council are keen to be told about. The potholes are actually caused by frost freezing the soil underneath the road surface, causing it to expand and cracking the surface. And when the ground thaws, the water drains away, leaving the cracked road surface to fall into the crevice, and then that creates the pothole. Kent County Council are always keen to learn of any potholes and broken surfaces in adopted highways. An adopted highway is one where Kent County Council have agreed to maintain, and generally this includes all concreted or asphalted roads and pavements in the borough. An unadopted road is usually a road which is not yet asphalted or concreted, and as a result, KCC have no responsibility to maintain these surfaces. I'll go through the contact details for Kent Highways and a load of other details in a minute.
James, before you go, could you give us those useful contact details?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, if you live in the Laysdown and Warden area, my contact number is 07977 981 992. It's 07977 981 992. If you want to get hold of Kent County Council at all, just for anything, got their 24-hour helpline, which is 08458 247 247. That's 08458 247 247. Alternatively, you can go on to www.kent.gov.uk, and there should be a search facility there for you to type the department in you want to speak to. Kent Highways on 08458 247 800. That's 08458 247 800. Swale Borough Council is for fly tipping, graffiti, that kind of thing. We've got 01795 417 850. That's 01795 417 850. But the Swale Borough Council Community Safety Unit, they collate all the data from Kent Police and the wardens like us. They're on 01795 417 193. That's 01795 417 193. If you've got a problem with noise, like people playing stereos too loud and that, two ways to get hold of this. One, that's the normal Swale Borough Council number if it's inside of office hours, or if it's late at night, that's 07881 817 601. That's 07881 817 601. And finally, there's Kent Police. There's the Island Neighbourhood Team, which is 01795 584 165. That's 01795 584 165. If we want to go through to the switchboard, it's 01622 690 690. It's 01622 690 690. Or obviously, in an emergency, dial 999.
James, once again, thank you very much for coming along this evening.
Yeah, and thank you once more, Daniel, for inviting me over. I can't remember what number interview this is I've done with you now, but it's certainly quite a few.
And we will see James in 2 months' time, around about that anyway.